Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode. The weather has just been so glorious this past week, but the one thing you do need to remember is to keep your allotment and your garden watered. So in this episode I'll be setting up the Gardena Easy Control Computer, which will be controlling the irrigation in the greenhouse, and then I'll be heading up the allotment to plant out some of my seedlings. Now they've been acclimatised to the weather now and they are ready to be planted out. The greenhouse is slowly starting to empty now, which is great, and I just love this time of year. All your hard work is slowly paying off and all those seeds are growing into lovely healthy seedlings, which is just what you want. And of course, once all the seedlings have grown and they've been acclimatized outside for a couple of weeks, they can head up the allotment, which also means that these tabletops here can be removed and the tomatoes have that room to grow up. And they haven't quite reached it yet, which is fine because quite a few of these seedlings haven't been acclimatized yet, and obviously some are just growing, so it's going to be a couple of more weeks yet now until these tops are removed. But what I wanted to do before I go up the allotment to plant out some of the seedlings is to finish off setting up the irrigation in the greenhouse. Now I actually set up the irrigation a week ago now, and there's a video on YouTube all about that. But the one thing I do want to do is to finish setting it up by attaching the Gardena Easy Control Computer. Now this will control the irrigation and it will make mine and my dad's life a lot easier because, as most of you know already, we have quite a busy work schedule and sometimes we're away for up to 4 to 5 days, which means the greenhouse and the allotment, they both get a little bit neglected. And one thing we do worry about a lot is the watering, and we're lucky enough that we have my mum here who can come in and water the greenhouse, but she really doesn't like gardening. So to ease our minds a little bit, I think this computer system is just going to be amazing. And of course it will mean that both me and my dad and even my mum, we won't need to worry about watering the tomatoes at all because the irrigation will do it for us. So I'm going to set this up today, and in the box comes the computer system. It also comes with the hose connection adapter, which just screws on the bottom for you to obviously connect your hose pipe to. It also comes with 3 adapters to put on the top there so you can secure it to your tap, and I've put the biggest one on there which obviously suits our tap. So this will sit on the tap there and your hose will be coming out the bottom. The only thing you do need for this is a 9-volt battery, and it just sits inside there. Now I bought that from B&Q, most shops sell them, but I was in B&Q buying some paint for my shed and I saw a 9-volt battery, so I thought I'll pick one up while I was there. And I just quickly mentioned that this is a handy little feature for the computer. The screen does actually come off, so if your tap is in an awkward place and you can't put the controls in easily, then you can take the screen off, pop in the functions that you want, and then just slide it back on there. So we'll just quickly go through the functions before I put it on the tap. Now there are 4 buttons down the side. One is the main OK button, and then the other 3 buttons control each setting. Now the first setting is the water duration, so that can be from 2 minutes to 60 minutes. The second setting is the dates that you want it, so it can be 24 hours or it can be the 2nd, 3rd or 7th day, and you can also set that to once or twice or 3 times a day. Now the last setting is sort of like a timer. So if you set it on naught, the water will come on straight away, and then obviously if you set it for say twice a day, it will come on again, say in 12 hours time. But you can set that to suit your schedule. So obviously if you've just watered them, they won't need watering for a while, so you can set that to suit you, which is what this is all about. It's to meet your personal needs and to just basically make your life so much easier. So we're going to have the water flow on the tomatoes quite heavy, and obviously you can set them to a slow drip, but we're going to set them to the heaviest rating there. So I'll probably set the time to about 5 minutes every 24 hours, twice a day, and I'll probably start that off straight away, and then it will just automatically put in the other 2 times there for me. So very easy to use, but it's just going to make so much difference to our busy work schedules. So I'm just going to quickly set this up to the tap and set it up to the irrigation, and then I think we're going to head up the allotment to plant some of these seedlings out, because there's some sweet corn and quite a lot of flower seedlings that need planting out. Well, I am absolutely shattered. I've been up here for about 2 hours now, because what I wanted to do before I started planting things up was to dig over the brassica bed and to take the strawberries out of the flower border and to dig that area out. But oh my gosh, it's so hot, and the brassica bed was so trodden down where I've been treading on it for the past few months now. It was so hard to dig, so I'm all covered in dirt and a bit sweaty, but I am ready to plant stuff out now. I'm so excited because I've got loads of things that are ready to go in now, and it's actually going to make the allotment look really nice and full up, which is so exciting. I absolutely love this time of year. So first of all, I'm going to put in my courgettes and my pumpkins, because they'll be going over in the legume bed. My munchkin pumpkins aren't quite ready to come out yet, and I haven't acclimatized them to the outside environment yet, and that's very important to do. You need to do that for about a week or 2 weeks. Most of these have been outside for 2 weeks now, so they're all ready to be put out up the allotment. But yeah, I'm going to put my 2 varieties of courgette, and one is called Black Beauty and one is called Parador. And Parador is a yellow colour, and I grew that variety last year. It was so lovely. So I can't remember how many I'm fitting in. 2. So 2 courgettes, so it'll probably be 1 of each variety. It actually shows 3 of each variety, but they were just as a sort of backup. So there's going to be 1 Parador courgette, 1 Black Beauty courgette, and then also in that same area there will be a Tom Fox pumpkin and also a Crown Prince squash, and they're both up here ready to go in as well. So they'll be going in the area in front of the sweet corn, which is also ready to go out. I don't know if you can see it. Now this year round, I'm growing a different variety. I've only grown sweet corn twice now, and only once I've got a really good harvest. So I'm trying a different variety called Mini Pop this year, which, as the name suggests, is a smaller variety. But again, I'm excited about everything that's to do with gardening. But I really like the taste of these sweet corn, and they're just so delicious. So I'll be using them in stir fries and roast dinners and things like that. You can eat the whole thing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to harvesting them. But they'll be going in a block of 5, so 5 rows, 5 columns. They'll be going behind the squash and the pumpkin and the courgettes, because what I'm hoping to do is to have the pumpkins and squash sort of grow around everything, because that space is quite small. I think they're going to take over a little bit, but it will be an experiment. And I'm also growing some borlotti beans up the sweet corn as well, but that's not ready to come out yet. What I wanted to do was make sure the sweet corn was planted up so it had a little bit of a head start, so it actually creates a nice structure for the borlotti beans to grow up. So that's what's going in that area. And then in fact that whole legume bed will be full up now. What I might do is actually plant either a spare squash or pumpkin or courgette in front of the pea supports, because there's quite a big gap there, and it seems like it's going to waste a bit. So if I plant maybe a squash there, then it can grow in between the wigwams and things. So yeah, that bed's going to be full up, which is exciting. And then obviously the potato bed's full up already. It's just the brassica bed which is looking a little bit empty, but it's ready and dug now, and my back is actually paying the price for it. But what I'm going to do there today is sow some Swede direct, and then over the next evening I'll erect the structure, the frame that's going to cover the brassica bed, because obviously pigeons and white cabbage butterflies really like, well, they destroy your crops, so you need to protect your brassicas. And I'll be putting up a wooden structure and then putting my butterfly netting over the top, because yet again there's brassicas in the greenhouse that need to be acclimatized yet, so there'll be a couple of weeks till they come out, but it's all coming together. The only other area to finish up is the flower border, and there's quite a few flowers here ready to go out. So we have 2 varieties of cosmos. So there's just the general mixed variety which I grew last year, and I remember I got a really tall cosmos from that variety, which I forgot to save seed from. But there's also a variety called Xanthos, which is a yellow variety, and I cannot wait to see that one. There's also some dill that's going to be planted out, and I'm also going to plant some of that, if there's any spare, into the brassica bed to work as a companion plant. There's some chamomile, which is going to be planted in the trough just the other side of this door here. And there's 6 plants here, and they'll all go into that trough hopefully. All for my homemade tea, because I just love chamomile tea. And there's also lots of calendula. I love calendula. It's just one of those really good all-rounder flowers, you know. It looks pretty, the butterflies love it, the frogs love it when it dangles over the pond, and of course it's edible, which is always good. So I usually just grow the bog standard calendula called Indian Prince, and I'm growing a few of them this year, but I thought I'd try a different variety this time around, just because it was really pretty. I think it's actually starting to rain. My God, this weather is so strange. Anyway, the other variety of calendula I'm growing is called Touch of Red Buff, and it's a really dusky pink variety, and I think that's what the flower I'm most looking forward to growing to this year, because the colour is just beautiful and you can add the petals to salad as well. So there's quite a few of them. Some of them will be going around the wildlife patch, and then I'll be growing a couple of rows in the flower border as well. Oh, that's crown prince squash. Oh yes, and some sunflowers. Oh, and a borage. I'll be putting a borage by the wildlife pond as well, just because the bees really love it. And again, you can eat the flowers. Now this is a variety of sunflower, a different variety for me. I planted out the Mongolian giant ones a few days ago now, but this is a smaller variety called Sonia. And I thought it would be really nice cut flower, because I love sunflowers, but I just think, especially the Mongolian giant ones, they are humongous. So to have this sort of dwarf sunflower in the cutting patch, I think it's going to be really nice. So I'm growing a couple of rows of them. And I think, like I stated in a previous video, the whole idea for the new flower border was to make it into a sort of cutting patch. Whereas the wildlife area will be untouched. It will be for the birds and the bees and the frogs. The flower border is going to be mainly for cutting. So I'll be planting things in rows. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll do a bit of a close-up. But yeah, there will be rows around the flower border, just for ease of cutting, and also so I know what's where. Because previous years I've just been dotting flowers around, and it's been a little bit confusing. And also what I want to do is direct, so 2 varieties of poppy. Lauren's grape, and I can't remember the other variety. Oh, it's written down here. What am I on about? Oh, Lauren's grape and lilac peony. They're really nice big varieties, and I'm hoping to get really nice big seed heads from them. I really can't believe it's raining. It feels really nice, to be honest. It's been so hot today, and it was forecast. So I guess I better get these lot planted out before I get too wet, because I didn't actually bring a coat. Right, let's start with the squashes and the courgettes and the pumpkins. gosh. Oh my gosh. I cannot get over the weather. I seriously cannot get over the weather. It was so hot and sunny this morning, and now it's just, oh my gosh, like a drowned rat. Well, that's the flowers planted out anyway. The things that we do for our gardens. It's actually thunder and lightning now, and my shirt is stuck to the back. Oh gosh. Well, at least that means I won't need to water them in anyway. Just means that I need to try and find a way to the car without getting completely soaked. I seriously cannot believe the weather. But that's good old British weather for you. But I think on this note, I'm going to head home somehow and dry up a bit. But I really hope you enjoyed that video, and there will be plenty more coming your way. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time, hopefully on a sunnier, less wet day. Oh gosh.